Today we return to the Rhodomel. So what we want to do is talk about what has happened to this. This started way back on February 25th of 2020. We added 3 pounds of honey, half ounce of rose petals, a smidge of chocolate mint that is like non-existent in this. Fresh lime leaves. Those
Bad.
the Kefir lime leaves. They're like the bane of our existence now. We have 3 of those stinking trees now. The limes are great. The leaves, don't put them in your fermentation, no matter what we say. If I ever say do it again, please just ignore me and don't do it. We used half packet of Lalvin 71B yeast. That would be like, half a teaspoon of yeast. So there you go. Water to a gallon, even though this is not a gallon anymore. We then, only like a few days later, like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, we removed the lime leaves, removed everything, and added more rose petals. Thus the nice red color now. Then we added even more rose petals to it later on down the road after rough racking it. Then on May 7th of 2020, it had a 1.022 final gravity. I'm going to call that done. Today is June 10th. So this has been sitting for about 4 weeks, maybe just a touch over. We're going to take a last reading on it, get a little sample to taste, and we're going to put it in a bottle and put it away for a while and hope the lime leaves dissipate. All right, to get started, let's just pop out this stopper and do a quick reading. Now, when I say reading, I don't mean just any reading. I mean a specific gravity reading. And for that, I use a turkey baster, also known as the poor man's wine thief, also known as it fits in the bottle. The regular wine thieves don't fit in this bottle. This is a Carlo Rossi 3-liter wine bottle that we bought specifically for the purpose that we're using it for, because a lot of times when we end up racking a couple of times, you lose liquid each time. So this way we're using a small enough vessel that we didn't have any oxidation issues or fear of oxidation. When last we left this, it was at 1.022, and today it's at 1.022. That means that it's done. It hasn't moved. It's fine. We're good to go. What we're going to do now is rack this into a pitcher. I like to do it. It's an intermediary step between this and bottling. But what it does is I know there's some little wispy sediment in this one. I don't want that in that last bottle. I don't want it in any of the bottles. So we'll be really careful when we rack out of this bottle, and then out of this one, we don't have to worry as much, and every bottle is evenly distributed with that little tiny bit of wispy least that we're going to have. So based on my calculation, which very easy to calculate your ABV, it is your original gravity, which in this case is 1.116, minus your final gravity, which is 1.022, times 131.25. Don't ask me why. That's just the coefficient that you use for that, or coefficient. I don't know. Is that a coefficient? It's a number. Whatever. And that gets 12.3%. We used to use a different formula that actually came out significantly higher. I don't think it was as accurate. So we don't use that anymore. We use this one. It's simple. It's easy. I can almost do it in my head. I'm happy about that. So I'm going to take this and pour it into this pitcher.
Do you want some of it in your tasting glass?
I would like some of it in my tasting glass first. This is why there's 2 of us. That's about all I'm going to put in there. The rest is going to go in here. Now, somebody might wonder why I didn't just pour right back in the fermenter. Well, because, it's going in here anyway. And the fermenter is awful small. And like I said, the aforementioned wispy sediment. Don't really want it floating up. For the bottling part of the show, we're going to get out Wibble, our newest cast member, also known as the White Bucket of Levitation.
Hi there.
And I'm going to take our source and put it up on top.
I did it wrong.
See? This is why there's 2 of us. And the end of this goes in the pitcher. That goes in there. Now, the problem with these Carlo Rossi bottles is, see how she can't really angle that? I like to be able to angle it so it goes all the way into the corner so she can tip it. That's not going to happen. But we do have the wispy sediment, so it might be okay. Not going to worry about it. A few pumps, and there we go. So we're going to rack this, which just basically means all the liquid's going to go from there to there. Didn't really think it was all that exciting, so we're going to skip ahead and see in a minute. All right, as we always do in bottling, add the bottling wand to the end of our hose, put it on about a 1/2 inch. You know why? And if you don't, watch some of our other bottling videos so it doesn't come off. And I'm going to put this in here, The spring-loaded tip will be pressed in ever so slightly, and she will start to suck. I like to have 2 bottles handy. These are 1-liter bottles, and being that there was 3 liters in the container, I'm fairly certain we're going to fill 3 1-liter bottles. There'll be links to these bottles in the description of this video. They're pretty convenient. They're a nice spring-loaded spring top here, and just gotta pop the clip back in. They're pretty decent bottles. They're very heavy duty. The spring-loaded clip is a little bit on the weaker side. I don't like to use these for carbonation, but for a stilled beverage that has no bubbles, no problem at all. They keep for a long, long time. We've had months, a year at least, in a couple of things with these. I'm gonna be honest. The smell of the Kaffir lime makes me not very hopeful on this particular brew, which is sad because it looks really pretty. We might have to do a Rose Mead or a rose wine again.
Yep.
But this is why we do this. We like to learn from our mistakes and what not to do, and look at all the things that we've told you not to do. 1 bottle full, go right to the next. Look at that color. I mean, that is just beautiful. Another word about learning from our mistakes. We never claim to be experts. So, you know, there's always going to be somebody that knows more than you do. Bottling's done. As you can see, we got 2 full 1-liter bottles and 1 mostly full bottle. It's okay. Put this one in the fridge. Drink it sooner. Don't worry about it. These 2, we might put these away for a long, long time to see if we can get rid of some of that Kaffir lime smell at least. But we don't really know how it tastes yet. So let's do a taster. The Kaffir lime is strong. Very strong. I don't know if I'm just getting used to this Kaffir lime thing or what, but that doesn't taste half bad to me. I get a little bit of the rose, perfumey type of flavor coming through. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. I think in this case, the Kaffir lime balances the rose a little bit. We're going to have to do a Rhodomel again. Plain and simple. We're gonna redo a Rhodomel one of these days. I'm not happy with the way this came out. I want to do better. We learned a lot, and we know things that we would do differently next time. Not a total failure, because it's drinkable. It's not something you want to like dump down the drain.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see what this does with some age, and I'd like to revisit this another time. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.